Hello and good evening. Welcome to Nighttime Natters. It is, I tell you now, it is the 24th of October. Just coming up to 8 o'clock at night, and I'm just going to be getting ready shortly because I'm working this evening at the drop-in as Boy George. So there we are. I'm feeling great, you know. A lot of people sort of dwell in their own sorrows and pities, you know, but I'm one of these people really that you can't keep down for long. You can't keep down for long because eventually, you know, I'm like a bottle of pop, you know, or lemonade or whatever. You shake it, 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 shake it, shake it, do the shake end back, you shake it, and eventually it just, doesn't it? It just explodes and then it all comes out. And that's sort of what happened to me last night when I was doing Nighttime Natters in part 2, because as you know, like I said, there was two people. I suppose it was a bit like good cop, bad cop, really, where one person was being very nice and understanding and everyone was just being short and ignorant, I suppose, and arrogant and abrupt even. So much so that after that that conversation with the three people involved, that they must have watched Nighttime Natters last night, which I'm thrilled that they take the time to take a look at my art. And so much so that it made them put a status on their Facebook this morning saying, feeling slightly pissed off. And then a bit later on, I get a message from this person saying they wanted to explain that they wasn't being short or abrupt. In fact, they haven't had an internet connection properly for about a week or 3 weeks or whatever, and it kept cutting out or whatever that incorrect information was given, because I asked if who decides on, you know, the payout if you do become ill, and I was told by the person that was being rather nice, or just being normal really, or maybe the other person was being normal as well, because I found them to be quite rude, that it was down to the rude person, the other person and another person as well, so 3. But apparently, and also if needed to, it would go to the rest of the group to decide to pay out on this thing. Well, the person that messaged me this morning, who was slightly pissed off this morning, said that was wrong information. One question that was incorrect was it wouldn't go to the members of the group because that would be too much messing about. So I said, well, one question I forgot to ask was, are any of you qualified doctors? Which the answer was no. They're just trying to help people out. And I said, well, for somebody that has blackened my name or tried to make me look a bit of an arse, would you trust the person in charge if you know if they didn't like you? Like I said last night, and they said, well, I'm free to leave the group if I want, you know, at any time. So I said, well, why should I? I shouldn't have to. You're not the only one that makes the decision, and I've been assured by the other person, which I didn't let the other person know, but they will know now because of Nighttime Natters, that I would be treated fairly. So there's no need for me to leave the thing, because I've paid in for it. I've paid for the year. So I mean, €60 to join it, or pay a £5 a month, rather than keep going, you know. And I was away a few times, so I kept missing it. And then I said, oh, sorry. And then I went in and I just paid it. You know, I just paid it all. And then you paid up and whatever, everything like that. So if I should fall ill, I would get a payout of about €1,000, depending how ill you are, you know, and depending how long you're off of work. So it's for a month. So, and then what happens though if you're sick longer than a month? I don't know. Anyway, that was that. So after they were being a bit, again, trying to be clever with me on Facebook on the message. Let me just remind myself of the message, because I wouldn't like to give false information and not get my facts right, because I do like to practice what I preach, don't you know? So it went along those lines of that I don't trust you, the person, and because of what's been said and whatnot. And this person said, and I can show you on here, I have, what does it say here? Here we go. I have, let's see, oh right, here we go. I said, I'm no different from anyone else. No, I don't trust you at all, but you're not the person to decide everything, thank God. And they replied, that's entirely up to you, Keith. And I said, and everyone knows what you have tried to do to me, but luckily I've kept all correspondence and people have seen the truth. And this person then said, how you feel, I have no concern about it whatsoever. So I said, that surprises me. That doesn't surprise me at all, me. Because this person is me. And I've been calling them that for quite a while. Anyway, she says, oh dear, you're wound up today. I said, not at all. You're the one who's pissed off. As you said on your status, I'm very happy. Anyway, I wanted to clear the air, she says, and to message me from your say, which I have done, so I'll be on my way. I said, bye. And I hope your mood lifts. It already has, she says, thank you. I said, glad to be of help. Then came the thumbs up. Then came a friend request from this person, which incidentally I blocked a while back. But they put on their status the day after the awards that they had blocked. Lies. And then I unblocked because I wanted to send a message with regards to whatnot. And I'm sorry that I'm talking in this sort of funny voice, because I have to be funny about it, because really, if I was seriously really upset about it all, I would probably go mental. But I'm not really, I am already mental. It doesn't really bother me, but you're not going to get one over me, ever. I'm like a dog with a bone, dear. Like a dog with a bone. And I'm in the right here. So that was that. So then all of a sudden, the friend request came, and I thought, you're taking the mickey, dear. You're taking the mickey. And then, as I was reading back through the message, it changed. The person's name disappeared, and it said internet Facebook user, which means I've been blocked. But also, they deleted the comment earlier about them being pissed off, slightly pissed off in the morning, and changed it to they're feeling elated, they've had no internet for 3 hours and blah, 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 and they're feeling elated. It's wonderful how conversation can make you feel elated and whatever, which obviously I am very happy for you for that. But I did also send, when I saw that, I sent a message privately on their phone saying, deleting statuses and comments says it all, really. Which it does, because if you can't stand people, somebody wrote something very cutting on my Facebook page about the old incident, and it's still on there. It's from months ago. It's from August. You can troll back and have a look, and they write it down. And I said, I'm taking this off of here, but I meant up to privately, but it's still on there for everybody to see, because I'm not ashamed. If I've got something to hide, then you delete it, don't you? But I'm a very open person. And then it said, then I sent a message and all that. I said, but you've picked on the wrong one here, because I'll scream and shout. Well, I won't scream and shout, but I will defend myself to the very end. The very end. And I will. Then the status is saying some people do anything for attention. In the words of Danny LaRue, I don't need attention, my dear. I'm a very big, successful act, and I find you impertinent. And the public answer you, my dear. They answer you. They applaud your stupidity and your ignorance and your bad manners, dear. I find you inarticulate, dear, in the words of Danny LaRue. So, there we go. I ain't going to say no more about it, but the people that are attention seeking obviously live their life on Facebook, even though they haven't had no internet for 3 old weeks or whatever it is, but they find time to put their things, their lifestyle on Facebook. And I'm not doing this for attention. I'm doing this for therapy. I do this for therapy for me. It makes me feel a lot better. I've been videoing myself for years. I used to have a big camera like this, but now you can do it all with a phone. You can do it all with a phone. I'm a happy person. So much so. So much. I haven't been drinking, by the way. I haven't been drinking. I'm just feeling happy. I'm feeling very happy. So much so that I'm going to take a week off and reconnect with Tenerife, because this is why I came here. I came here because I really like Tenerife. And wherever you go in the world, you'll always up against people that ain't, I got recommended to be friends with this person, and I befriended them. And Sean Mitchell, worst thing you've ever done to me, dear. Worst thing you've ever did to me. But there you go. If I see anything else, I don't want to know from anybody. Please don't send me anything saying that this one said this one said that. I ain't interested. I am not interested. I walked away from that. Back before even that trip away, I didn't even want to go on it. And I shouldn't have gone. It's only that I was fond of the person whose birthday it was. That's it. I tried to be the bigger person. I walked away from it, and because of that, people don't like to be rejection. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people don't like to be rejected. We all don't like rejection. I don't like rejection, and Abirs and the people, that are in this business, rejection is the worst thing. But hey ho, that's it. Deal with it. Like you say, move on. Don't keep going on and on and on about it. You're the one making the Facebook statuses, dear. And my one today was aimed at those two. People that obviously have got an alliance together. Because, like I said, videos had to be deleted, didn't they? Do you remember? Videos had to be deleted. Or were they deleted? I wouldn't publish it without speaking to the innocent person involved. Do you remember? I'm not like that. But I've got it. And I'd just like to say, before I sing a beautiful song, happiness. The difference between you and me is that I'm built for this nonsense. I've conquered my demons. I've been broke, paid, lied to, taken advantage of, cheated on, hungry and full. My name has been dragged through the mud more than once, and every time I pick it up and I wash it off. That's why I am self-made. I came a long way, and I still have a long way to go. And in the words of the very great, but unfortunately late, Linda Bellingham, lay in your own gravy. You know exactly who you are. Enjoy this song. Happiness, happiness, the greatest gift that I possess. Oh, I thank the Lord that I've been blessed with more than my share of happiness. To me this world is a wonderful place. I'm the luckiest human in the human race. I've got no silver and I've got no gold, but I've got happiness in my soul. Happiness to me is like an ocean tide, a sunset fading on a mountainside, a big old heaven full of stars above, when I'm in the arms of the one I love. Oh, happiness, happiness, the greatest gift that I possess. Oh, I thank the Lord that I've been blessed with more than my share of happiness. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm very happy. Ladies and gentlemen, sleep well. Good night.